Drink some of that water. Alright, I'm about to put you on some sauce. Welcome to part 1 of this series. To watch the other 2 parts of this series, make sure you go to ProducerGrind.com and get free access to the other 2 videos. In this series, I'm gonna show you tips and tricks to really step up your sample. By the end of this series, you're gonna know tons of methods to make your melody sound like the pros. I'm talking Cubeatz, Coop the Truth, Mike Dean, Dez Wright, Palace, basically the GOAT. Now in this video, we're gonna specifically focus on expanding your sound selection. I'm gonna show you how to make the most out of your one-shots by using the tour plugins. Also how to avoid spending hundreds of dollars on plugins by using sounds from your phone, or spending that money by buying hardware gear to up your library. Plus I'm gonna show you how to use a field recorder for just the simplest thing. Now to make this video easier to follow, I have a template for you. This is a free and good tool for beginners like you to make your workflow a little bit easier and faster. Also, if you happen to grab my free starter pack, it already got some sounds loaded up in there, including my free Analog Lab Bank, free Portal presets, some perk loops, mixer presets, one-shots, even a quick drum pattern to check your melodies. So let's chop it up about sound selection. If you watch our Eastbound interview, one of the things he talked about is how he spends the most time choosing what sounds to use. Sound selection is so important because let's say that you're stuck on a chord progression. Just by switching the sound, you could get a whole new vibe. Now recently, one-shots have gained a lot of popularity in the sample maker community. 1, because they're easy to use, 2, because they save your computer hella CPU life, and 3, they give you a texture that you might want for your melodies. One downside to one-shots is sometimes they don't give you that realistic feel. Also, the higher you go up in the scale, the cheesier that shit might sound. One trick to make your one-shots 10 times better is to run them through Arturia plugins. First off, Arturia plugins is a really good investment, especially if you want to make dark, vintage, analog type of melodies. You could get the V Collection 8 that contains 28 instruments and not even pay full price by renting to own on Splice. So why pay all that money when you can pay like $20 a month, gang? See what I'm saying? What I like about Arturia is that you can use multiple plugins to load one wave file through. This lets you manipulate, layer, and even add effect pedals on your one-shot just using one VST. Put a 2 like a dumbass, huh? Now let's open up Bellatron. So I recorded a one-shot using my Prophet Rev 2. All I did was run some thermal to give it some saturation. This is what the one-shot sounds like raw. First thing you want to do is click the advanced tab. This is going to open up more features. When you scroll down, you're going to see 3 tapes. This is where you can layer up the 3 wave files to run through the tape of the VST. When you load your wave file in, you have options to adjust the pen, the dB, and the pitch. But one thing about one-shots, after the sound is done playing, it cuts off. What if I want my one-shot to play longer? When you click the loop tab, it gives you a feature to set your starting point and your end point of the loop. So after the one-shot is done playing, it starts looping from the start point. Quick way to make your one-shot sound like tape is playing with the flutter and the tape saturation knob. This will detune it and give it a little distortion sound. You can also play with the mechanics and the noise floor to add texture. Now click the FX tab. This is where you can add pedal effects. The different pedals you can add is flanger, phaser, distortion, reverb, delay, limit.
It's time to stop!
All types of different effects. You also had a feature to add an amp and a room tight reverb to your one-shots in the plugin. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on these pedals so you can hear what the one-shot sounds like. Alright, so now that we got the Bellatron preset sounding good, let's layer the sound. Layering is a good way to make your melody sound full and give it a certain type of texture. Now on the right side of Analog Lab, you're going to see an option that says Edit Preset. Analog gives you the feature to layer sounds from other presets in Analog Lab. In the section that says Part 2, I already have a preset loaded in there for my free Analog Lab Bank. This is what the second preset sounds like. Down below, you even have more features that you could use. You have knobs at the bottom for each part that lets you pick what you want to control. You also have more pedal effects that you could process through the part that you also have more effect pedals you could process.
No offense, my baby, no offense. But you ugly as shit.
So fast forward and I put some more processing on the preset by adding Portal. I'm using the preset called Pixel. You can find this preset in my new premium pack that's dropping soon. I also made a bass line using my preset Growl that comes with the free Analog Lab Bank. So I made this template so it could be easier and faster to hear what your samples sound like with some drums. So I unmuted one of my perk loops that's already preloaded in this template. And I'm gonna unmute the drum check pattern. Now I'm gonna just add my 808 and let's hear what this sample sounds like. So if you like this sauce, bro, you know, just leave a little comment, like the video. Don't be a lame and watch this video and not like it, comment, you feel me? Let's get back into it. Ooh, that bitch sexy. Okay, so let's say you can't afford a monthly payment for Splice. You ain't got the funds, I understand. I feel you, my boy. You could literally use your iPhone and an aux cord and plug into your mic input and use the instruments from your app store as actual VSTs. Now, let's say you don't have an interface or an aux cord. Record your screen, play a melody, send it to your email, Google MOV or MP4 to wave converter. Boom. Audio. Apps that I use mainly are Model D, Flumph, Mimph, Mellow Sound, and Synth One. No cap, Model D gotta be the hardest though. Pause. Alright, so I'm gonna just go through some of these sounds real quick. Alright, so I took some chord one shots from the premium kit that I'm dropping soon. So I got the chord shots routed to a mixer insert with RC20 on it. The preset that I'm using is called Verbtastic. This also comes with the free kit. I also got this routed to Portal, which is already preloaded on my template. It's located on the send section. The preset I'm using from Portal is called Rain. This also comes from the free pack. So this is what the one shot sound like. Alright, now to add a little ear candy, let's use this accent that's already preloaded in this template. On the insert, I got this free patcher preset called Sprinkle. This is good for mallets, bells, or high ambience instruments. Open it up and use the sprinkle now to control how much of the effect you want. Now we finna see what this sounds like. Now we're gonna take the texture bass and give it a bass line, plus add some more ear candy by using the sweet preset in Analog Lab. And these bells from my premium kit dropping soon. Alright, now we gotta turn this shit up. I got one preset from the app Synth One, and I got another preset from Model D, and I'm gonna just lay some counter melodies down. Before I play the audio, I like to open them in Edison and downgrade the sample rate. I just like the effect that I get by using this method. Lastly, I added a perk loop from my premium kit that's dropping soon, and then another perk loop that's already preloaded in my template with some phasing on it, just to give it a nice little effect. And you know that we gotta do a drum track, so I already got the drums loaded up in here. Let's hear what the sample sounds like. So I know you probably like, man, you're not gonna show how you did at vocal chop. This particular vocal chop is not mine, but I'm gonna show you how to make your own vocal chops. Let's get into the next one. Now we're gonna talk about field recorders. So I have this starter that comes with my free pack loaded in here. This is what it sounds like. This could use a vocal, so what I have is a field recorder. I like using this to record things outside my crib, or you know what I'm saying, in the crib if I need something fast, if I don't got my phone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in the bathroom, I'm gonna record some vocals. So we gonna call this Operation Diesel, you feel me? I ain't got no headphones, but I can hear the melody in the background, so I'm gonna just lay some vocals. Been here before, let me turn off the lights and get the thugging on here, you hear me? Baby, oh baby. Alright, so the vocals sound pretty bad. First I'm gonna use Bellatron to tune me up right. Bellatron is a plugin that does many things. I mainly use it to tune my vocals manually. Now I got an analog processing chain in the full pack dropping soon for vocals. All it is Abbey Road and Lil Alter Boy. And you know I gotta use a little auto tune game. With Lil Alter Boy, I like to play with the format. Next I'm gonna add a compressor to beef up my vocals. And then I put my Abbey Road after the compressor so it won't raise the volume or the reverb. The preset I'm using is called Vocal Space Shot. I don't know, it just gives me a different room effect. It's hard. Here's what it sounds like. Now Now to match the vibe of the sample better, I'm gonna add ambience, which is a free reverb plugin, and filter it out in the background using a plugin called One Dial Filter. Now I'm gonna turn on one of the perk loops that's already preloaded in this template and do a little drum check to see what my full melody sounds like. Alright, so for producers who got money to spend, let's talk about analog gear. Analog sound is always gonna top that digital sound, you hear me? What I have is a Prophet Rev 2. How I use this synth is I run it through a MIDI out. That way I could click my notes in the piano roll while still using the VST and getting the full sound. Also, this saves you like $1,000 to get the desktop module version. I'm just saying, putting that out there. Now let's get a chord progression first. So I got these chords I came up with, and now I'm gonna run them through the Prophet. On my insert, I got Portal. I just picked a random effect in here, and we're gonna see what we come up with. That shit too fire. Now I'm gonna layer that with another sound under my Prophet, but let's pitch the MIDI up 1 octave. Man, that shit sound too fire together. So I'm gonna turn this perk loop on that's already preloaded in my template. We could easily turn up this loop by adding some accents, which is another great way to sauce up your samples. I got this accent called Dream that comes with the free pack. Since we already got a bass that's preloaded in this template, let's add the bass line and use this other free one shot called Prophet that comes with the free pack. Now let's do a drum check and see what the full sample sound like. Alright, so this sample is cool, but I could really make this vibe by adding guitar pedals like this, or this, or this, or a tape machine. I could show you this, but you gotta continue watching the rest of this course on ProducerGrind.com. So get the free access to the other 2 videos. Got your ass.